Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. So I wanted to come to you guys with another video, a real quick video. I want to talk a little bit about these clips that I've been seeing going viral yesterday with young Berg and his episode of Drink Champs. Now, Drink Champs is a show, hosted by Noriega's, a few other guys there. But basically people, different kind of celebrities, all kinds of celebrities go on there, they drinking it up, they doing stuff, and they just talking, right? It's just an interview, right? Noriega's pretty animated, but on this last episode that the clips are going viral, Young Berg was on there. Now, some of you guys might know him as Young Berg. Some of you guys might know him as Hitmaka, but he is a very, very talented and well sought out producer in the industry. And you might also remember him from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. He had a brief relationship with Masika. And remember, if you watched it at all, you might remember Hazel E was just like, oh, and he was just rejecting her and treating her like shit. It was just really, really sad to watch. But what was sadder to listen to was this interview that he did with Nori. So throughout this whole interview, because I watched it all, okay, I sat through all of it, he proceeds to just kind of tell how he got into the industry and how DMX kind of pretty much, which I didn't know, kind of like got him his start. But he also proceeds to talk a little bit about these different encounters with women in the industry. And I was especially turned off, not that it took much, but I was especially turned off when he, went into the direction of talking about these very intimate moments with these women, including Naturi Naughton. So I'm going to go ahead and play the audio for you guys about his encounter with Naturi Naughton and just how corny I believe, and I absolutely believe he is for doing this. Go ahead and listen to this, guys.
Meeting like the girls from 3LW. You remember them?
Yeah, I remember them.
So,
ain't one of them on a few?
No, yes. And then the other girls, the one that I smashed is on Power.
Okay, I didn't know we was going on.
Y'all were label mates?
No, we weren't.
Let's just
No, we
talk.
weren't. We weren't. So, I'll never forget this shit. This is the first time I ever, like I learned a real life lesson, like this day.
From 3LW?
So, listen, I think she was living at some apartment complex or whatever. We was cool. It was at the Archstone. If anybody in LA already know about the Archstone, that's where all the artists used to live. It's in North Hollywood or whatever. So I go to her crib. They having a little party or whatever. It's like all the little 3LW girls and shit. And we go on, we smash. I smash her.
The Power one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like,
Ghost
man.
Girl.
Yeah, I'm like,
Ghost Girl.
I'm like, this the
You
first time.
smashed Ghost Girl. Look at you,
man.
girl.
Let's talk.
You smashed it, Ghost Baby Moms, man. This is Baby Moms.
I'm like, it's something in her pussy. Like when I thought about like
Wait, I didn't know where he was going.
Something in there?
Wait, tell him out, because listen, this is a first of first. Well, a lot of moments right now. He keeps catching me where I don't even have a response. Wait, what did you say, sir? I'm sorry.
So it was like it felt like a mouse trap in her vagina.
I thought you were saying like a diamond or something.
No, and that's the first time I learned about birth control. She had the IUE ID or whatever. It's my first time experiencing it.
You ain't never seen a y'all in
I
y'all.
never
Okay.
So you heard that, and all I could think about is just imagine turning on or just getting on the internet as Naturi and seeing this clip go viral over something that happened 20 years ago and hearing these men cackle and laugh and talk about the fact that he discovered that you had an IUD, couldn't even get it right, an IUD. And just how immature and corny this moment was. But he didn't stop there. And the funny thing about it, the whole irony of it all, is that he kept saying, I don't kiss and tell. I don't kiss and tell, and proceeds to kiss and tell. He also tells stories about Whitney Houston, the late Whitney Houston, and her dealings with Ray J and how he walked in on her naked, and how Ray J and Whitney used to do this and that. And then he also talks about like his little riff with Ray J at one point, and how Tierra Marie, you might remember Tierra Marie as well. She was a singer, and she was also on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. How she gave him oral sex. It was just the corniest shit. Now, I do understand that sometimes lives intertwine, and when we are telling stories, people just happen to be in our stories. But a lot of these stories that he were telling, I found as watched the entire interview, were unprovoked. It was unprovoked. He didn't have to bring up Naturi and the fact that he slept with her. That was completely unprovoked. He decided to do that, which makes him super, super corny to me. We always talking about how a lot of women out here talk too much. You know, the groupies, they get out here and they say who they slept with. They slept with this man. They slept with this basketball player and stuff like that. That's corny too. So he is not exempt from being called a cornball. What he did, in my opinion, was just very tacky and disrespectful. First things first, Whitney Houston ain't here to defend herself. So he's sitting here talking about he saw her neck. That was just so unnecessary. That was an unnecessary story. And Naturi is a married woman minding her business with a child. Again, imagine getting on the internet and seeing this kind of stuff going viral about you because this man decided to talk about it. Now, he must not been much of shit because it ain't like she ever mentioned that it ever happened. So he couldn't have been much of nothing for her not to even like bring it up. It was like one of those little like, oh, I did that. Okay, move on. And I'm actually surprised that he would even mess with Naturi, considering that he has had this reputation of being a colorist and only liking girls lighter than a paper bag. Okay, so I'm actually surprised at that, but that was just corny, and more corny that the fact that those men sit around and like, nobody ain't gonna check that kind of shit. You hear this, you know, it's always, you know, all these men come and protect black women, protect, yes, I love my black women, protect. But you see the disrespect that he doing. Yes, those are his stories to tell, but there's just some things that you just ain't got to say. It was completely unnecessary. And of course, Nori, to make a good show, he gonna roll with it. He was like, well, I didn't know we was going there. He was just as surprised. But of course, it makes for great media, right? The clips went viral. Now, from what I heard, Young Berg are trying to get this stuff taken. Like, he don't even want the interview to come out. Obviously, it's too late. But I heard that he was trying to keep the video from coming out because he realized he had talked too goddamn much, right? But that just makes him corny. And it's not that it took a lot, in my opinion, to make him even more corny. It's just that I don't like the fact when people do stuff like that. These intimate, he just broke all the codes. He broke all the codes, in my opinion. And he didn't have to do that to that woman. He didn't have to bring up Whitney. He didn't have to bring up Naturi. And he definitely didn't have to bring up Tierra giving him oral sex, right? I hope he feel good about I guess he felt like the man at that moment, but I hope he also feel like that was just a cornball-ass move. It just was. And imagine if he had a kid, a daughter, and people were talking about her in the way he talked about these women. Ciao, bye.